Good morning, everybody. Brian here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Hello and welcome to the Daily Grind. This is going to be a live show in which we talk about news, we play some video games, and we talk about anything and everything. If you're watching this live or if you plan to have this, we're going to shoot for Tuesdays and Thursdays as a kind of a morning show on YouTube and Mixer. So be sure to check the links in the description if you're interested in watching us over there as well. Now, if you're watching the archive, we hope you really enjoy this show. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, I'm looking at a script right now because I want to try to make sure I hit every talking point. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy XIV. They have the patch notes. We have an interview with Yoshi P that we're going to go over later in the show. We're also going to be leveling up Machinist while we talk about it. So, first part of the show, we're going to be covering the patch notes. Second part, we're going to be talking about, like I said, the interview. And then later, we're having a little discussion topic. We'll see if we get to it regarding, is it okay to support WoW Classic? Or is it wrong to support Blizzard altogether? So that's the plan for the day. We be sure to include time stamps in the comments or the description of this video when it's later done. And so this is going to be the Daily Grind for August 29th, 2019. What's going on, Bobby? What's going on, Ergen? Thanks for joining us live. Let's go ahead and end our first part of the episode. Let's talk about the 5.08 patch notes for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the game and the content so far. If you are new to patch notes, note that they have varied designations to say, like, if it's something that only impacts 5.0, 4.0, 3.0, etc. And so essentially the first update we have on playable content regarding free companies. Submersibles can no longer be deployed on exploratory missions when submersible speed is 0. I don't know if you guys have engaged with the submarine system. We have one. I always forget about it. I forgot about it pretty as fast as I forgot about airships, but you really shouldn't, because they can bring back really interesting and unique items that can continue to feed your free company with plenty of money, but they are expensive. So I guess there's a risk versus reward there. The Manderville Gold Saucer has got Indomin Mahjong. The probability of waits occurring after a player discards a tile has been reduced. Housing updates. Housing is now available in Spriggan and Twin Tanya on the European Data Center. So if you are, if you're out there, go get your housing because I know you're going to regret it later if you've been seeking a house. They are not easy to come by. This is where it's going to get interesting in the battle system. We've got the following adjustments have been made. Looks like Rogue Ninja is getting some updates. Spinning Edge going from 200 to 220. A lot of people saying the work that you have to put into Ninja doesn't equal kind of the payoff, right? Like, you're sweating bullets and you're really like pushing your DPS as hard as you can. And meanwhile, like, other people are just like, all right, this is nice and easy breezy and out DPSing you. So a 20 potency buff for Spinning Edge. Gust Slash. Combo potency has been increased from 300 to 330. That's a pretty big jump there. So that's just 50 potency just on those two alone. And the Algin Edge, combo potency has increased from 360 to 400. Rear combo potency has been increased from 420 to 460. They are, man, holy smokes. This is a buff. Shadowfang combo potency has been increased from 200 to 220. Not a shocker. It seems to go along with Edge. Then damage over time potency has increased from 50 to 70. Snap. Armor Crush. Combo potency has increased from 330 to 380. Holy crap. And the flank combo potency, 390 to 440. This is impressive. All right. And then Bunchkin. Shadow attack potency has been adjusted based on the attack performed. Melee attack potency 200. Range attack potency 100. And area attack potency 100. Oh my gosh. So Mark is saying, I think these buffs will suffice as a sort of a band-aid for Ninja's damage problem. However, the Murda issue is still around, and we'll definitely have to see that change to 5-1. I'm also wondering, we get some Samurai. Oh, good. We're going to get some Summoner buffs, too. I was like, man, if they did this for just Ninja, like, Summoner needs some changes. But, yeah, you're right. 5-1 probably is going to be the most, which is not far away, guys. Which is not far away. All right. Help text for the Ninja action Bushkin has been adjusted, and that's just adding in pretty much the changes we want. Okay, Samurai guys. Let's see. Let's see here. Hazake, and forgive my pronunciations. Just forgive me. Potency has been increased from 170 to 200. Jinpu is the combo potency has been increased from 320 to 340. Shifu combo potency increased from 320 to 340. That's pretty standard then. Looks like got a 10 potency for here. For the Gecko and Kasha. Okay, so I mean that's just the combo potency. These 10, you shouldn't underestimate 10. When they updated Black Mage back in the day and Heavens were like 10 potency to fire 4, like it's just like it that adds up, especially if you're doing something quite often. Hikamana damage potency has been increased from 35 to 40. And then Hasana Katan, where cast time has been reduced from 5 seconds to 1 second. And Higanbana, is your damage overtime potency is increased from 52 to 60. So while it feels like Samurai might not have gotten that much of a buff compared to Ninja, like Samurai was already crushing it on the DPS. But this is supposedly to help, I guess, offset for utility. Hands down, that's how it's looking at. All right, come on, Arcanist Summoner, give me a reason to play you. Ruin, the additional effect, if target is suffering from bio and miasma effect inflicted by you, Ruin potency is increased by 130 for one effect or 180 to both has been removed. The base potency has been increased from 80 to 180. Wow. That's actually pretty decent because the whole issue is that weird 20-second gap in which, like, all right, you got to kind of hardcast this stuff or you're going to be just hurting your DPS. That's good. Okay, it looks like the same concept here. Additional effect has been increased. Let's see, Rune 2 potency has increased to 120 for one effect, 160 for both has been removed. And so then potency for Rune 2 is just 160. Rune 3, additional effect, target is suffering from bio or miasma, blah, blah, blah. Potency is increased from 100 to 200. And Rune 4, so it's just a flat out, like, they're not factoring in the dots. That's huge. That's so huge. It'll be interesting to see if that's all they change now, because I'm gonna have to go play it again and see how it feels, because it was always that weird just 20 seconds that just sucked, right? Anyway, so the appearance of ground in certain areas of the dungeon of Mount Kolg have been adjusted, and then they have resolved some issues. The following issues have been addressed: an issue where the treasure chests that have appeared after using the Zirkin treasure map has not appeared in the correct location; an issue where the dungeons of Leith, wherein the duty was erroneously end in failure under certain circumstances; an issue where selecting the chamber door of the dungeons wherein the possible to discern whether or not the door would open from the start of the cutscene; an issue where the ingredients required the facet mail and fending were incorrect; the issue where graphics did not display properly and the darkened cowl of healing was equipped by the Viera and Hrothgar; an issue where using direct chat and the Kana input, can't read, active wherein the copying the text and the log issues using Command C would ready the chat log, Mac version only, Mac version. An issue where the screensaver could turn when playing only the gamepad, and then that's Mac version only. And they have a known issue, the issue where the number of materials received by after desynthesizing the facet mail offending was incorrect. All right, guys, that's patch notes. We're going to jump into an interview here later with Yoshi P and Oda, talking lore and Shadowbringers. So hopefully that will be interesting for you guys. What's going on, Horizon? But in the meantime, let's go ahead and play some games and chat it up. Let's talk about those patch notes, guys. Is this, Mark saying this is a Band-Aid for Ninja, which is, yeah, like, I think Ninja really needed a Band-Aid. And holy smokes. Like, that's a huge damage potency output. Man, like, that boggles my mind, blows me away. That's super exciting to see. So I have to say, I think it's going to be neat to see as we go into 5.1. Like, is this all there is? Or is this just kind of a preview of what they can do quickly? Potency buffs, I think they can make those changes very quickly, and that makes sense. Let's go and pop in some leveling, durability. All right,